Anglers Extra.
Live from Veterans Field, I'm Aaron Canada alongside John Schiffner for the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. And Schiff, 3 days on the road, then come back at home. You got a doubleheader here at Veterans Field in a 4 o'clock start, and it's a little hot.
Yeah, it's a little sticky, as you can tell. And I haven't done anything. I feel bad for Berto and Jay. They're down there throwing. But, well, this is summer baseball, summer weather, so let's go. Why not?
You think the guys are up and ready to go? I mean, talking about how the guys struggle in the early going to get up and play every day as opposed to playing every couple of days in college, this is going to be a big test for not only the Anglers but the Wareham Gatemen.
No question, and it's the same for everybody in the league. The weather's no different here than it is in Wareham or Bourne. It's the same thing. Again, it's all part of the process. That's why this is a developmental league. We're trying to get them prepared for what it's going to be like in pro baseball, and they're going to go to some pretty hot places, in pro ball as well when they get into the low minors, and that's what this is all about. And it's also about being able to budget your time. It's being able to eat properly, get your proper rest, and still be able to perform at a high level.
Last night at Hyannis, this team dropped the second consecutive ball game, first time this season, now 7-4 and 1 on the 2010 season. And the bats were there. It's just the third consecutive night the starting pitching kind of broke down early on.
Well, we didn't hit as well as we should have, and we only scored 2 runs. I mean, we did get 8 or 9, 10 hits. I'm not sure what it was, but they weren't clutch hits. We certainly didn't tear the cover off the ball. Could the pitching been a little better? Yeah, but it wasn't all that bad. We need to hit a little bit. We need to do a little more situational hitting. We need to do a little more clutch hitting, which we had early on. So it's there. It's just, people don't really, think that we jumped out to a 7-3 start. These teams are good. There's no, even if their records aren't good, they've got very, very good players in every one of these teams, and I try to emphasize to our guys as much as I can. You're playing an all-star team every night, and you're playing a Sunday conference game. You're getting the back end of somebody's pitching staff. You're getting the 9th, 10th, 11th pitcher, maybe a third starter, and the bullpen's pretty used. You're getting a number 1, number 2 here every night in the top closers from college baseball. So it's a grind, and if you're not prepared for it, it could come up and bite you in the butt.
Mentioned the doubleheader today against the Wareham Gatemen. First time the Gatemen come to Veterans Field. And just give us an idea of the lineup we should see and the starting pitchers.
We're going to go with Ricky at first, Danny at second, Steven at short, Mark at third, Pavoni behind the plate in the second game, Humphreys in left, Martin in center. No, Humphreys is going to be in center, Martin in left, and Verdon in right field, and Derek Self's going to be on the mound.
Now, a couple of guys in this lineup, and Brian Humphreys is one that you mentioned, have really come on as of late. A couple of guys cooling off, just the ebb and flow of the season as it progresses.
That's the Cape Cod League. I mean, it's a grind every night, and in order for somebody to go, a whole season batting 400, 430 or something like that is almost unheard of. You just get worn down by the schedule and the weather, and if these guys can, that's Brian right now is just swinging the bat well. Every ball he hits is almost on the nose every time. He's having a really good start.
Now, you mentioned that, with the ups and downs and the ins and outs of the game and getting off to the hot start, it's pretty easy to motivate these guys to come out and play every day. But when they start to get mired in a bit of a slump and they lose two back-to-back games, and then depending on how they do today in the doubleheader, what is it that you preach to these guys? You've been in the league for a very long time, so you know how to work with kids this age and get them to come out and play every day.
Well, you just try to tell them that you're here for a lot of reasons. First of all, you're here because you're a very good player. No, there's no bad players in the Cape Cod League. They've been recommended by college coach. They've been recommended by professional scouts. So you're a good player. Good players have nights off. Good players have bad nights, and you can't expect to just go crazy for 44 straight. Nobody's hit 44 straight games before. It's a long, long season, but prepare yourself as best you can. Play as hard as you can every night. Somebody's always watching you. The scouts are in town now, as you can see behind us right now. There's several scouts here. They're going to get here more and more and more, and that's part of the motivation. The other motivation is these kids here in Chatham especially get treated extremely well, and the fans want you to play hard. They don't they really don't care about the win and loss as much as they do give a good effort, and I tell them you owe them the good effort, and if you have a good effort every night, there's a very good chance, if we have all of our players giving good effort, there's a very good chance we're going to win that game.
Yesterday we mentioned that the first quarter of the season was over, and we asked for your report card. You gave the team a B. How do you see the second quarter of the season panning out?
Well, if it started like it did last night, not too well. So we've got a nice opportunity here tonight to get things back on track. We had a home game. It's a nice hot day to play baseball. We got 2 good pitchers on the mound, so we should be in pretty good shape.
I'm embarrassed to admit this, but this morning I finally watched Summer Catch, and I got to say, you don't really look like Brian Dennehy at all.
No, wish I had his bank account, but no. That's thank you, appreciate that.
He's John Schiffner. I'm Aaron Canada. It's the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Go Anglers!